Hello guys, you can call me Dogtooth or whatever, but I wanted to talk about this disturbing series called Terrible Mouse. What is Terrible Mouse, you may ask? But before I talk about Terrible Mouse, warning: viewer discretion is advised and graphic content will be talked about. Terrible Mouse is a YouTube series posted on January 13th, 2025, made by Gutian or whatever it said, but Terrible Mouse is about a mouse getting revenge on humans for experimenting on her. But instead of Gutian making Lorna, aka the villain of this series, get revenge on the people who experimented on her, she instead targets innocent children that had nothing to do with the experiments. The first half of Terrible Mouse is about these innocent children getting tortured in brutal ways. Also, why the hell does a little girl have a crush on Lorna in the first episode? Gutian also added more unnecessary scenes that are just unneeded. Not gonna mention on how there's multiple scenes of Lorna putting these children between her thighs. Like, what the fuck was going on in Gutian's mind making those scenes? The first Terrible Mouse episode is clearly built on shock value and gore. Now moving to the second episode of Terrible Mouse. Now I will say that the second episode of Terrible Mouse isn't as bad as the first episode. Still pretty bad though, because the whole episode is just Lorna beating the shit out of this kid. And then there's this unnecessary scene. Like, genuinely, what the fuck? Gutian puts these scenes in intentionally, clearly meant for Gunnerbait. And it gets really bad once you realize that he is 16. Why is there suggestive scenes of Luke's mouth open? Why is a minor on a leash? It's weird that Gutian thinks of those scenes and makes weird shit of the underage characters. Now moving on to the third episode of Terrible Mouse, or one of the most controversial episodes in the whole Terrible Mouse series. And there's a good reason for that. The one good thing I'm going to say about it is that Gutian had finally age restricted it. But that isn't making this dogshit series better. So the third episode is after the kids escape the boxing arena. And Lorna hurts Dan for answers and why he helped the kids. And that's not what makes this episode bad. There's a bunch of unnecessary scenes, like this. And this. What was Gutian thinking of making this scene that was opinional BTW? Clearly Gutian makes these scenes meant for Gunnerbait that I had showed you. Lorna literally essayed Dam. Gutian got so much backlash from that scene she literally had to change Dam's age to 18 because how bad the scene was. Dam also didn't kill Lorna after he got free from the chair because if she was making a cute face. This is clearly showing the creator's fetish and clearly meant for Gunnerbait again. Now there's not much more to say about this episode, but considering it's one of the most hated Terrible Mouse episode, I'm not surprised on how controversial it is. Now moving on to the fourth episode of Terrible Mouse. There's not too many bad things because half of the episode is these kids fighting this monster, what it is. The only bad thing I'm going to say is them using chemical weapons on minors. Now I couldn't get the rest of the episodes of Terrible Mouse. But Gutian is innocent and she did nothing wrong.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Now I will give my criticism. Gutian's artwork is trash. Gutian's characters are bad. Gutian's fandom is horrible. Gutian's show is dog shit. Gutian is a horrible person who stole from Bisoka. Okay, so that wraps up the video. Now I wanted to say about a couple of things before I go. One, if there's only other things I should know about the horrible stuff Gutian did / other horrible stuff in the show I missed, make sure to comment it. 2, sorry for the video not being the best, because I'm new to editing and stuff. 3rd, I will be making another video exposing Gutian / the fandom. Anyway, Dogtooth out.